Hello, everyone, and welcome to the May the 12th Kubernetes SIG Contributor Experience meeting. I'll be your host, Allison, and yeah, just a couple of things before we get started. We abide by the Kubernetes contributor. We abide by a code of conduct, which in short means be excellent to each other. So and keep it PG because this is all recorded. We'll go on YouTube. Yeah. So with that, shall we? I think it'll be good if we start with some introductions as well on the line. So I'll go first. I'm Allison. I'm one of the co-chairs for SIG Contributor Experience. I'm based up in London and I'm a developer advocate at Weaveworks. Now I'm going to pass the ball over to Josh.
Howdy, I'm Josh Burkus. I work for Red Hat. Admittedly, lately I've been mostly working on CNCF stuff rather than Kubernetes stuff, but I'm still around. Arnaud.
Wait. Hi, I'm Arnold. I'm Keaton for working with co-chair and also release manager associate. I've been ContribEx for a while now, and I think it's all for me. I will pass the ball to Christoph.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christoph Blecker. I work for Red Hat and am a technical lead for SIG Contributor Experience. Also a Kubernetes steering committee member. I will pass it over to Sadev.
Hey, Chris and everybody. You know what? I thought I'm getting my turn somehow. So thanks. Yeah. So I'm Sadev Zala. I work for IBM, located in North Carolina, USA. Contribute to Kubernetes, mainly the cloud provider side. ContribEx for a few years now. I'm also one of the etcd maintainer and other things as well, as it comes up. So that's pretty much about me. And I'll pass it to Bob.
Hi, I'm Bob Killen. I'm a co-chair of SIG Contributor Experience and steering committee member as well. And in my day job, I'm a program manager for Google's Open Source Programs Office. And I will hand the baton off to, I'm going to put your name, Arsh. Okay, cool.
Hi everyone, I'm Arsh. I'm a student from India. I've been contributing to SIG architecture for the last 2 months as part of the Linux Foundation mentorship program under DIMS. And this is my first ContribEx meeting. I was looking at other areas where I could contribute, so I thought this seemed interesting. So looking forward to contribute. I'll nominate Fagun.
Hello.
Okay.
We can hear you, or
Yeah.
we did at least a moment ago.
You seem on mute, Fagun.
Hello. Oh, I am also a student from India, and this is my first meeting. I got to know about SIGs in the KubeCon conference, so I thought just to explore little more about things. Yeah. I am really new to these things, so maybe some things go over my head. This is all about me.
Great, welcome. And I think Joel.
Hello, I'm Joel. I'm with Lionsway Content, and I actually am doing a little bit more with the upstream marketing, but I thought I would try to come to this meeting at least intermittently in order to know what is going on and see if there's ways that those two can align. Yeah, I'm in Portland, Oregon, USA.
Alrighty. Wait. Is there anyone else on the line who we might have missed with the introductions? Or
I think we got everyone.
all right. Sounds wonderful. So let's get right into the agenda here. So events. Any updates on office hours?
Not that I know of.
Alrighty. So we can just skip over that. Community meeting.
We had one. When's the next one?
I think next week, technically.
Ooh, do we have a lead for it?
Laura, but she is not on the line.
Okay. Which Laura? I'll ping her and see if she needs help.
I'll ping your Slack handle.
Okay.
Hello, Chris. Welcome.
Hey, sorry,
welcome
I'm
on
late.
the line. No worries.
For office hours, we were going to change platforms to one that makes it easier for random, for different volunteers and ContribEx to moderate it. Does anybody have any idea what the current story with that is?
Need to open a funding ticket on K steering or K funding, and then I think we didn't come to a conclusion on who is going to have access to that, because it has to be associated with an email account. There is no passwords with StreamYard. So it's either going to be create a new alias for the purposes of YouTube or streaming, or like send it to the moderators list, which has a wider set of people, but it does include like all the YouTube, all the right people.
It does or doesn't?
It should, if memory serves me correct.
Okay, well, it seems like a solution then, because I mean that's the way to make progress in office hours, as far as I know, right? Because like I could host in office hours, but I'm still tinkering with getting OBS working. Yeah. And
one potential, actually, one other thing we could do is just associate with the community account, community@kubernetes.io.
Well, it means I'm going to have to stop routing all those emails to
DevNull.
No, you're just gonna have to figure out the subject and edit and adjust.
Yeah. So, okay. Is anybody in charge of that? Following up on that?
Not at the moment, but I can take that AI.
Okay. I mean, I can do it now that KubeCon is over. I could actually do follow-ups on that if you want me to. However, you'll end up dealing with it anyway because steering needs to approve it. So
that's sort of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like we covered office hours, unless there was something we missed. Okay, so next item on the list is contributor summits. Bob, fill us in.
I think the we're following up on our previous discussion pre-KubeCon with discussion with the leads. Right now, the first leads meeting they were more or less in agreement with what we were thinking of from our previous discussion on it, where it would be, if we do, well, we will host one in person, but it will be very loose. It will be generally like, unconference type thing, just because of the various issues with planning. There was a lot of support for hybrid, so we can get people in the room to at least stream stuff to for whatever unconference sessions do pop up. So I'll just have to, potentially coordinate that with them. The second leads meeting is tomorrow. Yes, it's tomorrow. Yeah, sorry. And we'll confirm all that stuff up before we sort of wrap up what their thoughts are, and then potentially follow up with the KDEV mailing list.
Awesome. Does anyone have any questions around the Contributor Summit or things I'd like to add?
Oh, actually, one last thing. We definitely will be doing a virtual contributor celebration again. That is because there's going to be a whole bunch of people that will not be able to make the in-person event, no matter what happens. We still are committing to do some sort of virtual event as well.
So, committing to.
I have a question. Is Contributor Summit like KCD, Kubernetes Community Days, or is it something apart from that?
So usually alongside KubeCons, the Kubernetes community will have like a day zero event where it's all the people that contribute to the project that are there at KubeCon. They get together and discuss important things related to the project. We used to also do like a new contributor workshop alongside of it. But these days that we're going to be shifting that more online. Yeah, it's essentially just like a way for all of us to come together in person and then discuss important topics to Kubernetes specifically.
Awesome. Well, that's all for the Contributor Summit so far. Yeah. So now we're on to mentoring. Meet our contributors. I can provide an update for this actually, so I'm gonna chuck my name in here. Meet our contributors. We didn't do it this month because it clashed with KubeCon, and it was just going to be a nightmare trying to organize people the week before enhancement freeze thing, and yeah, and KubeCon, it's just not going to happen. So it's going to happen the first Monday of next month. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit hazy at the moment, and I'll be hosting it. I'll be on StreamYard. I am coordinating with Paris over this, and yeah, I'll provide an update also as well closer to the time. I mean, how many weeks till our next in-person meeting as well? I don't have a calendar available. So yeah, does anyone have any questions about meet our contributors? Okay. So next we have mentoring.
Do you have enough panelists for mock?
I still need to organize those. So if you could, if you're interested in helping out with getting some panelists, we should definitely sync up after this over Slack and figure out, yeah, who could come on the Meet Our Contributors show. Cool.
That's upstream marketing is doing, and I missed last week's meeting, so I can't keep you up to date, but they are doing, outreach to talk to do little features of contributors. So they might have some overlap contacts that could be helpful to you. If you want to reach out to Matt.
Yeah, I'll add that to notes. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the other thing I was thinking, and I think outreach will tell us whether or not it's feasible, is if we could actually get into, for each mock, reaching out to specific SIGs and saying like, hey, we're going to have SIG Node, a panel from SIG Node, talk about how to contribute to SIG Node. Because I think having a little focus with a lot of our late mocks had de facto focus because of who showed up, but without knowing that in advance, we can't advertise it to attendees. Whereas, like for example, if we have, SIG CLI and we advertise in advance that it's going to be SIG CLI, then we can maybe get some attendees who are interested specifically in contributing to the CLI.
Yeah, that sounds really good, actually. Yeah. So with meet our contributors, does anyone have any other questions they'd like to ask, or things, ideas they might want to add as well? Alrighty, we'll go on to the next item on our list, which is mentoring program. I believe no, playground mentorship program. Does anyone have any updates on this? Usually Ihor gives us an update on this, but I don't see him on the line.
I can do a very high level rundown if we don't. Oh wait, you're actually more up to date than I am. I missed the meeting this week.
Oh, so the mentoring stuff, I don't think we covered in the mentoring meeting. We didn't cover any of the mentorship program as far as I can recall correctly. But the new contributor workshop stuff, we covered quite a bit of stuff with that as well. So what we covered in the meeting was we're going to update the guides on how to contribute to the new contributor workshop. So I made a PR in with updated guides on how to write the written guide. Updated some things on the video recording. I got Jeff to review the guides that I wrote. Still got to get in that stub for the still got to get in the stubs for the contributor site workshop folder. They're pretty much really close out the gate. I think I just need to fix some Git issues. And then last but not least, before I forget, Chris is going to be helping out with writing a call to action that we're going to publish this week, saying we're looking for people to help with this. If you signed up before and you're interested in helping, leave a note in the issue. If you signed up before but you don't have bandwidth, leave a note in the issue. Leave a note on the issue if you're interested in helping, yada yada. And also we had Pushka PJ. I don't remember his last name. And he was picking up the architecture guide again, and was going to update and create a pull request in once the stubs are up, so that we can kind of demonstrate this is the workflow to adding a segment into the guide. Does anyone have any questions about that, or things to clarify? All right, I'll take that silence as we've got everything covered.
So I can mention the other programs just briefly. So we're participating in Google Summer of Code. I think there's 2 projects. I don't think the next round of LFX has started yet. I'll admit that I don't really keep track of that because Ihor basically handles it. The SIG Leads mentoring program is underway and has candidates for, I think, 7 or 8 different SIGs. for people to potentially become new leads. And we're not currently doing anything with outreach. One of the things that we discussed the last mentoring meeting where we had a discussion of our general programs was the need to actually have someplace online where we allow SIGs and other teams to just create internship opportunities, because for a lot of our teams, they don't actually care which internship program somebody comes from. And it would make it much easier for us to put together proposals for the different programs if we already had a pool to draw from. However, we haven't yet created that. So that's a plan for the future.
I don't think any progress is made on a lot of that stuff just because
KubeCon.
It takes everyone's attention for like, 2-3 weeks.
It's I was going to say it's amazing considering how little actual KubeCon there was, since it was all online, and yet it is still a complete time absorber.
The vacuum of space that is KubeCon.
Yeah.
Next section we have is the community management. So need to know chairs and team lead email. I'm going to open up this doc quickly to see if we need to send another one out. Yeah, we'll probably. Oh no. We've got only one update on there, and we usually wait till there's like 4 updates on that doc, in the on deck preview or something. Is there anything we need to add to that? Need to know as well. I think I mentioned something in yesterday's meeting, which is make sure keep an eye on the KubeCon thing. Yeah, but shrug. Otherwise, we'll just go over to the next item. Marketing. Do we have any updates from marketing?
If I had made the last meeting, I would have updates, Chris.
I'm trying to think.
I know there's like a bunch of PRs in flight for for like SIG usability and a couple other
notes.
Person story. Like
there's multiple stories in flight, a few issues and PRs around them. I'm pulling up the notes right now from the last meeting, so forgive me. Student programs launching, and we have 2 shadows on the release team this time. SIG usability has an article, like Bob said. What is the release team and how you get on it is an article we're working on. How many times you applied and like got passed over is, a routine thing that we noticed in that trend. And then, new items. There's an inbound request. Somebody had a message they needed to get out, so we guided them towards KDev. But other than that, normal stuff.
I guess the silence cues us to go on to the next item. So unless anyone has any questions or something, anything they'd like to ask about.
Anybody need anything from us?
Or want to know more?
Great. Thank you.
Right. I'll take the silence. So let's go to contributor documentation. So Bob, contributor guide updates?
No real updates here, to be honest. Things have again sort of just been KubeCon.
Is there a burgeoning need there, I ask? I mean, always, of course, we can do better, but
one thing that we do, like we've had a sort of a long outstanding issue with it, was just to like go through and apply the style guide template to it, as well as just like it's right now it's like a bunch of disparate articles, like different pieces, and there isn't a concise story that ties, like, start here, then go to here, and then go to here. There is a little bit of I'd say like conflict in developing that, just because like each page is also like its one page like reference thing, so it's kind of also hard to link them all together. But
that's a non-insignificant project, sounds like. Yeah, it'd be nice to pair like a new contributor with somebody who kind of knows what's going on to like wend their way through that and find ways to improve it. But if it's not pressing, it can be pushed down the line.
No, not necessarily the contributor guide, but at this point, like I think all but one SIG have done their developer guide audits. That's SIG architecture. They are the outstanding ones, but they also have a lot of work of going through the like the design proposals and pulling the old Kubernetes documentation and deciding what should actually be moved over and what should stay there and potentially be archived off.
Cool. So developer guide, contributor site, we've rounded off the contributor documentation, more or less. And we'll jump into the next topic, which is GitHub management. So we had Christoph on the line earlier. I think he had to dip probably.
It's okay. There wasn't too many updates there. Again, KubeCon.
Yeah.
Well, things will ramp back up.
So I also guess we'll assume the same KubeCon vacuum of space for the Slack infrastructure as well. Yeah. Unless anyone has a Slack infra update.
I'm curious, and this is just because you said Slack, right? Like, do we have a way of measuring activity on Slack of any way, shape, or form? Like, I'm curious if like Kubernetes Slack was just as active as it usually is during KubeCon week. No idea.
Not in any easy way.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's what I figured.
Admins definitely get that info.
It's not. I'm an admin, and it's not like super useful. It's.
I feel your pain with many other services like Slack.
You get 30 days or a year for some stuff. There isn't a good way of like drilling down into like specific metrics. That all requires like third-party integrations.
Rough. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Which leads us to the last, with the Slack stuff out of the way, it leads us to the last item on the list, which is open mic and discussion. Does anyone have something that was in the agenda that they would like to share with the group, or questions that they might have? This is the time to raise these things, ask away. Oh, and Laura's here, so I think Laura can give an update also on the contributor meeting, the community meeting.
I apologize. For some reason, this was not on my calendar, so I didn't realize I was missing it until I got a chance to see Slack. So I'm still looking for a host for this month. We don't actually have it on the calendar either. So again, this is kind of like last month where it's not on the calendar and I'm still hunting for a host. Last month went pretty well. People seem pretty excited by the format, but I'm also wondering if we should, considering KubeCon, do you think that it's worthwhile to have it again this month, or should we bump to June and plan for that? So I'm kind of putting that out there as an open question to everyone.
When is it? Sorry, next week?
It would typically be the third Thursday
Okay,
at noon Central. I don't know what that would be in your time zone.
no, that's fine.
Trying to think. Like, I can't do math today.
Fair enough.
What do y'all think? Do you think we should host one this month, or should we just plan to have the calendar invite ready to go for June and
So,
then
One quick thing on the calendar invite.
Yeah.
We will
we had
not.
problems with it?
We will forever have problems with it until we stop using the public Google group.
Gotcha.
Okay. Essentially, we cannot send any calendar invites to Kubernetes, the Kubernetes dev mailing list. They will just not work.
Yeah. We could send it to every SIG separately, to each SIG mailing list. And that
I think, yeah, I think that's what we're going to wind up having to do until we migrate. Allison, sorry.
The only other idea I could think is you just export the ICS file and attach it to the email and be like, here's the invite. You know, you gotta double click, add the file to your calendar manually because Google Groups doesn't like adding large groups to a calendar invite. Yeah.
Okay.
That is a very good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if we could keep it in the same place and just refresh the info in it every time or whatever. I don't know.
So we just copy the format of like an old meeting invite email and it just be like, this is not really a meeting invite. It just looks like one. So you'll treat it like one. And now you're treating it like one. Attach the file.
Yeah. I think I had kind of roughly done that, but if we actually make it look like a Google Calendar invite, except for like the nice fancy buttons that are like, yes, no, I like that idea. All of that being said, though, is it worthwhile to do it this month, considering we just had KubeCon? Since we're doing more of a discussion format around KEPs versus like random SIG updates.
I mean, I'm happy to take random SIG updates as long as they are things that affect more than the SIG. You know, anytime a SIG is doing something they feel like the rest of the project really needs to know about, seems worthy of being in the community meeting. That was why like I pulled in that SIG CLI thing, because I said, hey, this is going to affect a lot of other people.
I think that's personally fine. I agree with you. I'm more thinking along the lines of, do you think all of those conversations kind of happened at KubeCon for the month? Is it worthwhile to have another meeting?
At KubeCon, it was largely wasn't like SIG to SIG type thing.
I guess that's true.
And there wasn't a lot of actual like SIG to. If it was just like during the like post, you know, intro to SIG, and then a little bit of conversation there and a little bit in Slack. I can tell you the SIGs were not talking to each other during KubeCon.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, so I guess we'll still host it. I will try to get an email that looks like an invitation out today. And I'm just going to look for a host. If anybody wants to volunteer, I will put it up in the Slack channel. Otherwise,
I can actually get you the sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Either Allison or I can get you the ICS, because like we can export the event since it's on the ContribEx calendar, but it's invited to, but the KDev was an invitee to that. So like either of us can export the actual like ICS type thing and can be included that way.
Fanciness. All right. Well, that will be good. I am technically going to be on PTO, but I will happily host if no one else can, just from somewhere else. So it'll be a different background.
Let me see.
It's fairly informal, but it's also a new format. So I can understand.
What time did you say it was? I'm sorry. I always forget.
It should be noon Central. So that's 11 Eastern,
One
Whatever
Eastern.
Pacific.
1 Eastern.
1 Eastern.
1 Eastern. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, no. Yeah, sadly, I
Wait.
have to live stream that time, or else I would take you up on that.
Oh, thank you.
So.
But yeah,
Wait.
so I'll put a call out. It's pretty
Oh.
much just here's the intro and then let people talk and kind of push people along the conversation. So
Sorry,
But
when
that's
was
it,
that
thank
date
you.
again as well?
it
For
should be, hold on.
The 27th?
27th?
So the third Thursday would be the 20th.
Yeah, sorry.
The
So
20th.
I can't
next
remember
Thursday.
calendars.
Right. Yeah, that's the question.
I can help out with that.
Well, that would be great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, we can sync.
Yay.
Awesome. So yeah, I can help out and be a host for that.
Sweet. Thank you.
Cool. No
I
worries.
will reach out to you after the meeting. Thank you. But that's the
Yeah.
update. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you. So does anyone have like any other questions they might want to ask us while we're all here, or things they might want to raise, or
I had a question. I don't know the context about most of the stuff that's happening, but is there something like I can help out with, which probably requires less context?
very soon. There is going to be very soon something that you can help out with, which is this contributor workshop stuff that I was mentioning earlier. It's like I got docs rearing to go, which like walks through how to write one of these guides. I've got and there'll be like a clear path on how to like raise your hand up and volunteer and help and work alongside others to help contribute guides on self-paced workshop segments on how to contribute to communities. I'm trying to keep the wording consistent with it. Segments, yeah.
Do you have any like Golang experience?
Yeah.
Okay, then there might be something. I know we have a couple other like automation type things that are open. I can drop some links in Slack after.
That'll be great. Thank you.
All right. Does anyone else have any other questions they might want to ask, bring up on the line? Or what's the time looking like? Otherwise, yeah, well, we can cut it short here for today and give you 20 minutes of this hour back. And yeah, it was good seeing y'all. Bye. Thanks. Bye.